A very warm evening to one and all present out here. Welcome to the webinar on changes in employees' expectation, followed by Sahajayoga session. With us, we have Mr. Sivakumar Veerappan, founder, Anuvabham and Creatrix campus, and also Mr. Subhopati Sanyal, CEO of the Nistula group. I request our director, Dr. Malay Ardave, to deliver the welcome address. So, please do the honor.
Thank you, Kavya, and welcome to the show, and a very good evening to all of you. It's a matter of great pleasure to welcome here Sivakumar Veerappan from Creatrix Group and Subhopati Sanyal of Nistula Group. I'm looking forward to this session because, for the information of our panelists, let me tell you that I belong to one of your groups because I am from the corporate sector. So I'm sure that I'll enjoy the session, and I request to Kavya to initiate the beginnings of the proceedings.
Thank you so much, sir. I request Mr. Sivakumar Veerappan, sir, to please start the session with your words, sir, please.
Well, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone, and especially thank you, Dr. Dave. It's a great honor to be on a panel while you are there, and Dr. SS and Kavya, thank you for all the organizing. The way we want to structure the program is basically Mr. Subhopati will be talking about all the changes and all the challenges and how we could address those things by understanding about ourselves and learning more about the inner power within us. Then we actually do the meditation itself. So I will actually let Mr. Subhopati to take over from here and cover the challenges, and then we will go to the solutions. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Shiva. Good evening, very good evening to everyone, and good evening, Mr. Dr. Dave. Nice to see you again once more. And thank you, Kavya, for organizing this wonderfully. And let's get started. So what I will do is I just start sharing my screen. And while I do that, primarily what I will be discussing is the effect of COVID-19 on the expectation of employers. Let's talk about a global scenario, not just restricted to India. So I'll just share my screen, and I assume that all of you can see my screen and you can hear me clearly.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. So it's basically meeting the challenge, and it's just understanding, how we can. First, we need to understand what are the challenges right now post-COVID, and next is how do we cope with those challenges. Now, before I go ahead, just something I needed to that we are also coping up with during our everyday life. It's just not about the professional challenges or the challenges in the global business scenario. The lockdown has rendered each and every one of us with we are changing the way we were living, changing the way we were eating, changing the way we were meeting friends, and we are definitely finding a way here and there, definitely finding a solution, how to go around it, and then leading a life that we can best do. So getting started here, first I will just hit the, straight away I'll hit the nail. What are the changes that are going to happen? Okay.
You're back, we can see you.
Yeah, okay, great. So primarily what we are looking at is, if we, what I was talking about are the challenges, or rather the key changes that are happening during this situation. Now, if you look at yourself, the way we are leading our lives, we are being able to see a lot of change because of the situations that we are being put through. Now, similarly, businesses all over the world are facing the same situation, maybe in different perspectives, but in the same situation. So obviously the expectation of businesses in terms of what they want from their employees, from what they want from the people they want to hire, and what they want from business as a whole has taken a key change. The first point is fitment over qualification. Now, prior to COVID, there was a situation where businesses, as an employer, a business would look at qualifications, understand, what is the background of the particular person in concern, and what kind of possibilities that person can offer if absorbed in the company. But right now, due to this certain change, companies are straight away looking for people who would fit the bill. They are straight away looking for fitment. When they are looking at an aspiring professional who would want to join them, they are looking at somebody who would directly fit their bill right then, right there. Next is, now when that comes in terms of flexibility, previously there were organizations who would think about dedicated workforces. Organizations would be thinking about dedicated departments and things like that. But right now the situation is there being a struggle in the entire business scenario, and then definitely being a struggle in the customer scenario and the revenue scenario. Every organization is looking forward to an employee who would consider a very high amount of flexibility while applying himself or herself. And that is one of the most key things that an employee has to remember if he or she is an aspiring candidate to be absorbed. The third point is multi-skilled. We always knew that our education system and the way we have learned things till a period of time in our education system, we have had a general system of education, and then we picked up our individual fields of specialization and we have specialized in those fields. Well, the current situation is definitely not taking away specialization. Specialization is there in its own place. But what is coming in as an extra demand from businesses globally is they would prefer people who are multi-skilled in these particular specializations. Say, for example, if somebody is specializing in financial management, somebody is specializing in civil engineering, somebody is specializing in electronics engineering, somebody is specializing in marketing or IT. The question is, these fields are pretty broad. These are very broad fields. So there are a lot more specializations that go into these fields. And right now, businesses globally, if I may use this word, actually cannot afford too much of a specialized workforce. So they are kind of looking for multi-skilled workforce who can apply themselves, taking care of a lot of challenges these businesses are meeting, they are seeing while earning their revenue and while expanding their market. The fourth point is businesses are preferring learned people over trainable people. Prior to COVID, as employers, many businesses would look at potential trainable candidates. In the interview, they would be looking at primarily a person who would fit the basic requirements. And then whatever polish is required, once they are aboard, at that point of time, a company would be spending their resources in training that individual and allowing that individual into their key places where they would expect certain returns from that particular individual. Now that bandwidth, it's no more there. But right now, businesses are expecting aspiring candidates, people who are looking for jobs, if they are applying for jobs, they're expecting that they come learn. Businesses wouldn't have that much of a bandwidth to exactly tell them what to do and how to do. Businesses would be just saying, these are our challenges, this is what we are expecting, these are our revenue targets, this is the section of the market we are aiming for, if this is the situation of our product sellability, this is what we are looking at, if this is what is our customer satisfaction. This was our customer satisfaction, and right now we are left with this situation. And this is our customer matrix. This is what we are looking at in achieving that. So, understanding this scenario, getting a grasp of it, and then applying oneself. That is what businesses are expecting from aspiring job seekers. And the fifth and a pretty unpleasant point is, which is pay, salary. Now, apart from businesses which are dealing with a very high degree of business continuity, like businesses which are dependent on collection of rents, financial businesses, banks, and regular services, healthcare, they are probably going through a certain degree of business continuity. But when we consider about other segments, manufacturing, service providers, but service provider, I'll keep it separately because that's a huge cameo. Not all are idle because there's a certain section of service providers which are extremely high in demand right now. But in general, so businesses have their challenges in terms of revenue. Now, a very common notion that can be that comes forward is every business, if a business is a successful business, every business has a reserve for contingencies. Absolutely, there is a reserve for contingencies, but one must remember, as a business, it is also an extremely key point that the business needs to run, needs to rise. It is not important that the business is meeting its contingencies. As long as the business is meeting its contingencies, it is not growing. And businesses are here to grow. Businesses do not exist to meet contingencies. I know it sounds rude, sounds pretty unfair, but that's how it is. And when the aspiring job seekers, the professionals, when you put yourself into the shoes of a business or an entrepreneur, you would exactly understand what I'm talking about. So here it's going to be feasibility. It's not about standardization. This is the market for this kind of a job. This is the standard pay. This is the minimum pay. This is what you can expect. If you have so much of experience, this is what you can expect. Gone are those days. That's all about feasibility. Now here is something very interesting in terms of feasibility. Now, if we go back 2, 3, 4 points, before we've spoken about fitment, we've spoken about flexibility, we've spoken about skilling, and then being learned. So that is where that feasibility, count of feasibility would vary from an aspiring to another aspiring. It is how well you have applied yourself in the first 4 cases, which will give you that particular edge to stand and understand that yes, I am worth this kind of feasible revenue, this kind of feasible expense for the business. Please understand, pay is a cost for a business. So an aspirant has to understand this is basically what I am. I'm going to value myself as far as the feasibility of the cost for that particular business or particular company is concerned. And another most important and very unique thing that is taking a lot of prevalence right now, and that is gigs. I don't know how many of you would understand these terms. The term gig basically it comes from small jobs. So this is associated with freelancing. But it's not that small. Right now there's nothing to do with size as far as gigs are concerned. Now what businesses are looking for is they are looking for people who can just get the job done, but they needn't be on the payroll of the company. So with this pandemic, this pandemic has given this world the scariest crisis that we can possibly see. In history, we have read about the flu, the 1919 flu, but that was history. We have read a lot of things in history. But This is present. We are facing this. Believe me, sitting at home, we actually have no idea what the global business is going through right now. As a company, I can share this much, that the dynamics of a business, be it the service sector, be it a manufacturing sector, be it a parallel business, be it in media and entertainment, the dynamics of business has completely changed. It has completely changed. All the rules have changed. There are no rules anymore. There is only one rule, and that rule is change. And the second rule that follows change is the rule that a person understands this change, changes oneself, and applies to this change and grasps that opportunity. This change is not a normal change that we are talking about. Of course, businesses, there is always change. Every single month there is a change in the global business matrix. This is different. But the point is, if this is different, if there is change, if there is crisis, there is chaos, there is a whole world of opportunity that opens up. A huge whole world of opportunity. Now, if you look at the changes, you would find all the opportunities hidden there. Fitment, rediscovering your skills, your skill set, identifying your strengths in those skill set, understanding what you are best at. That makes you fit for a lot of jobs. If you are flexible, you look at things on a broader perspective. A simple example is, you've seen a jigsaw puzzle with a mouse trying to, go through the jigsaw puzzle and trying to reach the end where there is a cheese waiting for it. The difference is you cannot sit on the mouse anymore. You have to look from the top. So you know the mouse, you know where the cheese is, you know what the puzzle is. You have to find the way. So that's basically flexibility. You have to understand. It's no more you being told or you understanding. There are conditioned ways. There are set matrices. There are standard operating procedures. Those days are gone. It's flexibility. It's the event, understanding the event, strategizing on it, applying oneself. Simple. Multi-skilling. You have a specialization. There are many skills that are associated with certain specializations. Find out what are your expertises. Identify those specializations. Try to adapt them. That would make you multi-skilled. Knowledge. Increase your knowledge. You don't need to depend on somebody to come and train you. If you know your strengths, if you've identified what you're good at, you may not be good in something, but you are definitely good in something else. You're always best at one thing. You all do one thing best. You need to find that out. And that all will give you that edge when it comes to the fifth point, that is pay. You see yourself above the graph, above the average crowd, and that gives you an edge. And gigs, freelancing, is basically you have to show your presence, because freelancing is a very big market. Job, you're competing against a set number of employees in a particular company, probably in a particular branch of a particular company. But freelancing is the growth. Somebody sitting there in Spain might be competing against you. Somebody sitting down in Sri Lanka, somebody in Pakistan, somebody in China, somebody in Malaysia, somebody in Dubai, somebody in Belgium, anybody. It's a completely open market. So the key in this is you don't need to do two very important things. Number one, you don't need to compete against each and everything. You need to identify what you are good at. Because what you are good at is something that you would always innovate on. You would have the capacity to spontaneously take strategic decisions on it. And you would know how to and where to apply it to get the perfect result. And so I'll go on to the next slide, and that is who will succeed. So a wise approacher, which I more or less have covered it in the previous slide. The first person who is a wise approacher. Wise means you know the challenges, so discuss the challenges. Now you need to be wise. One needs to be wise. Sit down, understand what is my skill. Now please don't measure your skill set against the marks, against your performance. Now your performance and your marks have been dependent on many other things. Right now the situation is different. Well, right now you are an individual. You sit there, you know what you're in, which stream you are, you understand where you are. You need to wisely approach your own skill set and understand those set of skills which are going to get you ahead. Second is an innovator, a person who would innovate with change, who will not shy away from change, will not be scared of change. An innovator is a person for whom change is an opportunity, another opportunity to apply oneself. That is the role of an innovator. An innovator sees a change, looks at change, smiles and says, "Thank you for giving that opportunity. Now I know what to do." That's an innovator. A quick learner. You have your set of knowledge. You know what you need to know, and there's no harm in understanding and gathering new knowledge that would complement your existing knowledge. Now, gathering knowledge is in two aspects. One is you gather knowledge because you want to gather knowledge, and the second is you want to gather knowledge that would complement your existing skill set. So you need to analyze your existing skill set and then understand what are the knowledges that I need to gather. I need to learn them quickly. The fourth person who would have the courage to accept any challenge, because this crisis has created one very definitive thing, and that is unpredictability. In the situation of unpredictability, a job seeker needs to have that courage to accept the challenges that a job seeker would face. Okay, I understand. This is what I had come for, but this is right in front of me, so I need to go for it. Because till the time you don't accept a challenge, you will not know the way to find out the solution. That's how it is. Next is you have to be a good communicator. Having a set of skill sets, probably knowing what your strengths are, that's a great thing. Assuming that you've identified that, you're sorted in that area. The question is you need to convert that in a language that a person who's sharing a demand would understand. So what is very important is communication. Whatever skill set you have, it can be a list of 10, it can be a list of 1, doesn't matter. But what is essential is communicating that skill set. The demand is there. The demand is looking for supplies. The demand does not have the time to ratify, analyze, and pick up resources, pick up supplies. They're looking for beacons. They're looking for blinking lights. They're looking for shining lights. It's your communication that would showcase that. Rational approacher, you have to forget your inhibitions. You have to forget it's something called unlearning. Matrix have changed, the dynamics have changed, everything has changed. So you have to be rational. So if this happened, we were supposed to do this, that's over. It's an open mind, there's no conditions. And not even a sense of ego that, oh no, I've done this before, so I know I'll do this now. There's no place for that. It's over. It's a blank field now. You don't know from where this tree would pop up and you would be asked to cut it. So you have to be a rational approach. So that you can see around. Because when you're not rational, you tend to have a myopic vision. Rationality would broaden your vision. That is what you need. And you need to be an integrator. It is not necessarily that you have to know everything. But what is necessary is you need to integrate what you know with what others know. And that is what is the start of a success story. So this is basically what I have discussed. I will give it over to Shiva, and who will be taking over from now. After the session, I am not normally after a session I keep a question answer session, but in this case, what I'm going to do is both me and Shiva keeping the question answer at the end, where once everything is over, the Sahaja Yoga session is over, which Shiva is going to do. After that, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if you have any specific thing to know about how to deal with things, please come forward and share it with us. Me and Shiva are here. We will be more than happy to address that. So basically, my last before I end up is go get your success. This is what I've written here. It's no more about applying for a job. It is all about finding and grabbing that opportunity by showcasing your skills and showing you are the best fit. And believe me, there is one definite thing that you can do best. All you have to do is find that, and then you are a winner. So thank you so much, and all the best to all of you. And I end my session here, and I will put it across to Shiva, who will take care of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request Mr. Veerappan, sir, if you can enlighten us more.
All right. Thank you, Subhopati. Wonderful eye opener. Okay, so I'll take you all in a very different dimension here, which is definitely connected to what Sir was talking. So let's see if you can see my screen now.
Yes, Shiva, you can see it.
All right. Okay, so this is not only during the pandemic, even in general. What happens is that we go through a very busy schedule. We have a challenging situation. I mean, many of you running a big organization like institutions and all that, every day is like a pandemic. But now that it's even more challenges added, how do we cope up with it? How do we really face the challenges? What really a desire to see what else can we do, right? So now we all know what's happening because of the anxiety. We become sometime aggressive, and that leads to some physical disorder. Many of you experience sleeplessness, and often because of the past incidents, we become depressed and emotionally disturbed. There are a lot of imbalances, and definitely these type of attitude or behaviors is not going to help us in future, because the future is a lot of filter is taking place, and a lot of expectations, not only on the skills, more on the qualities as well. So so we will be seeing an option to see there is a constant debate between our heart and our brain. So we usually say, oh, my heart is saying something and my brain is saying something else, and it should be rather they should be talking the same thing because they're part of the same body. So we'll see how that can work. I'm going to rush a little bit here. So anyway, what is our challenge today and even in future is that we are trying to balance the outside world, right, which is the social. Although we are socially distancing ourselves, but we used to be socially connected. We have to do something for the society, and we have to do well-being through our material life. We have a career or business to really take care, and then we have family. So there are a lot of responsibility we're trying to balance while achieving the inner harmony. So we have to be, though our responsibilities are high and keeps us very busy, but we need to take care of our body. We need to take care of our mind. We should be healthy thinking. healthy approach, and not just physically, also mentally. Right, so we have to control our emotions so we don't really go and burst in the public and create a distance relationship within the organization. We become very a smart communicator, right? So this is what we're trying to achieve, the inner harmony, while there is plenty of challenges. Okay, so there is an awareness that is historically everybody who had focused on their inner being wanted to achieve something called thoughtless awareness, scientifically also proven to be something that assists us to regenerate all the cells within us, bring joy within us, undo all the depressions or anxiety worries that we have. It's called a thoughtless awareness. It's also known as Vilamba in Sanskrit. So if you notice ourselves, right, so there is a thought, there are thoughts. We actually either think about the past or always a little bit of anxiety about the future, right? So we actually go like a pendulum to the left or to the right. It's always a constant battle, and we are never in the present moment, right? We are not enjoying the current moment. If there is bad news, we are going to the past. If there is something that we have to do tomorrow, which is you are very anxious about it, and you are not peaceful. So the brain is always contemplating and thinking. There is a brainstorm and things like that. And how do we reset it, right? And that's what we are going to see. Now, we were talking about all these qualities, right? So there is a subtle system within all of us, whether we agree or don't agree, that is there in our body. And if you can see my mouse moving, and there is an energy called Kundalini, which is in all of us in the sacrum bone, which is a triangle bone. This energy center is usually for people who are not meditating. It's in a dormant state, which means it's sleeping. You're not awakened to the power within you. Now, there are also 7 plexus that's also known as chakras, and that actually emits a lot of vibrations and emits a lot of energy for us to do everything that we do, whether it is our quality or whether it is something to handle our body, and that's what it does. So these energy centers, when it becomes weakened and we lose our qualities, we lose our balance, and we actually are not the normal people. And as you can also see, there is a what do you call the lines in blue, and let me see, there's some chat. All right, so the left sympathetic is on the left side, as you can see, and there is a right sympathetic. Basically, when we talk about a human being, we are generally either on the left or on the right. We are either worried about the past or building a lot of anxiety about the future. We are kind of sometimes we are in a kind of a pendulum going future to past and things like that. So anyway, now what happens is when we awaken this energy, we come to the present. We are not in the left, not in the future. Now we talked about a bunch of challenges when Mr. Subhopati was saying there are a lot of challenges he was talking about. So as a human being, we need to build kind of a vision for ourselves. Every company has a vision. Every company has its own mission. But as a human being, sometimes we go with the flow, right? Whatever opportunity comes. So when we actually meditate, there is an energy called Muladhara, which is the first one that gives you a lot of wisdom and the direction for your life. And it gives you a lot of memory power and superior wisdom. And actually, it is the power-packed energy that is within us. When this is tapped, it actually nourishes all the other centers also. Now, as a student or faculty or research scholars, and we always need a lot of creativity. But when we say creativity, it also needs undivided attention for whatever we do. We cannot be distracted. So when the second energy center is awakened, we actually tap into those qualities. And these energy centers not only give you those qualities, but they also control your organs. The first one is controlling your urinary excretionary organs, and the second one is controlling your liver, pancreas, and all that stuff. The third one controls your digestions and your stomach, and also gives you qualities like satisfaction, peace, and all that. Now, there is a lot of insecurity. We worried about whether we have enough immunity now or not. When the fourth energy center is awakened by meditating, we build a lot of immunity power for ourselves, right? And myself, by the grace of God, I have never been to a doctor for so many years, more than 10 years. As far as I can remember, I have never been recently. And I don't even feel fever or sickness for a long time now. Maybe I built enough immunity within myself, so I'm not affected by these small things. And we are people. We travel a lot. We work late in the night. Sometimes we do a lot, but still, you can keep yourself very healthy. And so when you go to the fifth energy center, that makes you a person who is very collective, team player, and very communicative, very friendly to behave. People like your company and things like that. These are quality that is, people are going to look from you because you want to be a team player. You want to be someone that, nice to talk to. And those kind of qualities needed. The future is so much robotic, and people are going to be losing their sweetness, losing their love and compassion. So we are already so much mechanical. I think the future is going to be even more mechanical, but it is a requirement, it is a need that we build all these innate qualities, or at least bring back them, which we have lost them, right? Now then we go back to the quality called forgiving and sacrificing, which is basically we normally don't forgive even the smallest thing, right? If somebody overtakes us in traffic, we just not very happy with them for even the smallest things like that. So we need to really become more forgiving, and which actually builds a lot of peace within us when you forgive people. And by sacrifice, it doesn't mean that you throw your house and become an orphan, but sacrifice means that you respect each other and do whatever it takes to give the due respect, and maybe help each other and things like that. Have a minimum qualities, a minimum sacrificing qualities, and things like that. Anyway, so these are all the knowledge about this subtle system within us, and of course, when all these things are managed, your stress is by default managed. You become very balanced, and you are able to see the solution, not the problem, and you become extremely creative to approach anything, and it becomes so much easier for you to learn new things. You are not afraid to learn, because after so many years of career, we sometimes take a back seat and stop learning. But your creativity will improve, your attention will improve, so you start learning new things, and you start helping people, and you become more a center of attraction. That's what happens to you generally. So anyway, we'll go into the meditation. This meditation technique was introduced by Her Holiness Dr. Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi. And she has traveled to so many countries, and she taught this meditation technique free of cost. She has received a doctorate in cognitive science, and she has been awarded so many awards, including United Nations, and many government has appreciated her work. And there are a lot of research all over the world about Sahajayoga meditation in healing many problems in health, or improving the character and the brains and nervous systems and so on. You can Google Sahajayoga research, and there's a lot of case studies available. So it is purely a scientific approach. It is not any blind faith. It is the power that is within you. The minute you have an open mind to accept it, you start enjoying it. Now we'll go into the meditation by ourselves. So I want, if you're sitting in a chair, what you need to do is you may want to remove your chappal and shoes, and make sure you are sitting very comfortably simply, if you have a cell phone that is on, it's buzzing all the time, and I would really request now silence it before you go into the silence because when we meditate, we are going to be completely not even in a vibrate mode, we are going to be in a silent mode. So let's silence our phone first before I silence ourselves. And when you're ready, we'll start the first step. Okay, get comfortable, and when you're ready, let's start the first step by placing your left palm on your lap and the right palm on your heart. And keep in mind, we are going to keep our eyes open now, and when we actually do it, we will keep our eyes closed. So just follow the steps, and I will guide you while we do it, even when our eyes are closed. Please make sure that you use the right hand now, not the left hand, and keep your right hand on the heart. Now, when the right hand goes to your heart, the left hand is static, it's still sitting on your lap, and your palm is open. Everywhere we keep our hand, either we're going to ask a question or we're going to affirm something. And everything has a scientific connection. So, and if you have questions about that, we can answer them later. But for now, keep yourself as a scientist, as someone who's ready to experiment something. Keep that attitude and keep an open mind to accept whatever result comes. Now, the second step is going to be below your heart on the rib cage, upper part of your abdomen, left side. You keep your right palm there. You say, Mother, I am my own master. Am I my own master? We talked about there is a motherly energy within us called Kundalini, which has the capacity to nourish you, which has the ability to bring out all the hidden qualities, which has a capacity to heal all the health problem and give you the higher awareness, right? So please address it as mother. So we'll go back to the lower part of our abdomen, where this place is in your left leg and your body is joining, and that's right where you have to keep your right hand. And that's a place you get your pure knowledge. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. Now, please do not contemplate why we say this, what is the reason behind it. Just say it because you're saying it within yourself. Now, come back to your upper part of your abdomen. First time we asked a question, now we are answering. Mother, by your grace, I am my own master. I am my own master. When we say I am my own master, so generally what happens when you have a health problem, you have to go through a scan, somebody else has to tell you, or when you have an emotional problem, somebody has to tell you. When you have an anger problem, somebody else has to tell you. We pretty much don't know a lot of inner things about yourself. So when we actually meditate, we actually develop that knowledge about ourselves, that is the inner being. So whether we are we become very introspective and we start learning all these things on our fingertips, which I will tell you in the end. We read ourselves, we scan ourselves, we know what's our health problem, we know what's our emotional problem, we know whether we are in the depression mode, we are in the anxiety mode, so we could balance it. So that's why we call it, we become our own master. Now let's come back to the heart with the right hand. Here we say, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Okay, so then go to the corner of your neck and shoulder. Say, Mother, I am not guilty. I'm not guilty at all. So the guilt business is something that is really need to go away from us. Whatever reason you are guilty, Today is the day that you are becoming a very new person. So forget it. Whatever it happens, forget it. You are going to be a new person. Things will change. We are reborn. So let's say, I am not guilty. I'm not guilty at all. So on the forehead, you just say, I forgive. I forgive myself. I forgive everyone. Whatever has been done against you, whoever has done to you, it does not matter. You just forgive them. Whether you forgive or you don't forgive, physically you're not doing anything. By not forgiving them, you're just going to be losing your peace. The minute you say, I forgive, you don't need to list them, but you just say, I forgive everyone in general. I forgive. Forgive. That gives you a lot of peace within. Right? Then keep your right hand on the back side of your head and you say, God, please forgive me. Or Mother, please forgive me. You're just asking for forgiveness so you feel better. Oh, whatever mistake I've done, it's over today. I am not going to repeat it. I'm fine. I'm not guilty. I forgive people. I'm a great person. I'm just going to be a new person. I am reborn. I'm not the same guy anymore. I'm not the same girl anymore. I'm just going to be free from today. I'm just going to enjoy myself. I'm going to enjoy whatever challenge is given to me because I'm now with more power. Bring it on. Right? So you just say, please forgive me. The final step is important. So you stretch your right hand. You may want to press it on the top of your head. Okay, wherever when you take a small baby, there is a very soft area on the head, right in front of your front line bone. That's where you have to keep your right palm and press it hard. Press it hard. How do you press it hard? Is by stretching your right palm. When you stretch the fingers upwards, you will automatically see a pressure on your head. Press it hard, rotate in a clockwise direction. When you rotate, you are not rotating your hair, you're rotating the scalp, the skin that is attached to your head. You will see that is moving up, right? So rotate, do not do it in a hurry, do it very slowly, very comfortably, because it's a very important step. Your motherly energy, that is Kundalini, is reaching your Sahasrara. That the motherly and fatherly energy is becoming one. There is a union. And that's exactly what it means by yoga. Yoga means it's union. Right? Sahaja yoga means it's a very spontaneous yoga. You don't put a lot of effort. With very little effort, you achieve this. Saha means it is, Sahaja means it's born within you. Ja means born. Right? So Sa means within you. So what is within us that is born is our own motherly energy, our own subtle system. So we enjoy that power by tapping into it. So when you're done with this, you will rest your palm on your lap like this, and you will be in meditation. So now what is meditation is where you don't think anything. You silence yourself, your brain is silent, your body is silent, but you can hear things, you can feel things. You are having the awareness. That's why it's called thoughtless awareness. Thoughtless awareness. And it's also known as Nirvichara Samadhi in Sanskrit. Right? So, and Turiya state also. So whatever name that is called, it doesn't matter for us. For now, we'll just experience this. Right? Now everybody knows the steps. I will guide you. Please close your eyes now. When you close your eyes, just remember you have a pure desire to achieve this. You are going to do a pure action with your right hand to achieve this. Simply become open-minded, forget about whatever you know. It is very important that you are open-minded now. Now go back to your heart with your right hand. Feel the comfort when you put your right hand on your heart. Left hand should be on your lap. Remember, you shouldn't be wearing any shoes. If you're wearing glasses, you can remove it and keep it aside. Sit very comfortably. Make sure to switch off your phone if you haven't done it. Sit in a very quiet place. Mother, am I the spirit? Mother, am I the spirit? Am I the Atma? You can ask in your own language too. It does not matter. Now the second step, bring down your right hand and keep it on the upper part of your abdomen. Say, Mother, am I my own master? Am I my own master? Am I my own master? Now right hand to the lower part of your abdomen. You say, Mother, please give me pure knowledge. It's a power that is within you. Unless you are sincere, it does not work. So please make sure you are very sincerely asking that. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. Very sincerely. It's very, very powerful that you can achieve. Make you feel great. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. As you start asking the pure knowledge, your Kundalini will awaken. Your problems will start resolving inside and outside. You go back to your upper part of your abdomen. Say, Mother, I am my own master. I have the pure knowledge. I am becoming my own master. So I am my own master. Very confidently you have to say, I am my own master. I am my own master. Now you keep your eyes closed. You don't have to look at the screen because I'm not changing the slides. Keep your eyes closed so you will achieve the thoughtless. If you keep your eyes open, you will get a lot of thoughts. You will not enjoy the meditation. Your brain can misguide you. Let us silence ourselves. Come back to the heart. Say, Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Now to the corner of your neck and shoulder on the left side. Mother, I am not guilty. Mother, I am not guilty. At all. I am not guilty at all. Now the right hand on your forehead. I forgive myself. I forgive everyone. Mother, I forgive. I forgive myself. It's very, very important that you forgive. No matter what, it does not matter who, what mistakes. Please forgive them. Please forgive them. Please forgive them. You will enjoy your peace. You will enjoy yourself. You will feel you are great. You will feel amazing when you just forgive people. It's such an important thing that we forgive people. We cannot have something that is against forgiving. It will harm us. We will fail as a human being. We can't forgive. So we have to forgive. Forgive, forgive. Now put your right hand on the back side of your head. You say, Mother, please forgive me for whatever mistake that I have committed knowingly or unknowingly. Mother, please forgive me for whatever mistake I have done, knowingly or unknowingly. Now stretch your right hand, press it on top of your head. Rotate in a clockwise direction. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Stretch your right palm. Your fingers should be stretched upwards. So give a good pressure on your head. Rotate slowly in a clockwise direction. Very humbly ask, Mother, please give me pure knowledge. Please give me my self-realization. Now if you remove your right hand and take it a few inches above your head, very slowly, see if you feel a cool or hot sensation that is coming out of your head. It may be warm. When it's warm, you just say, I forgive, I forgive. Now use your left hand, put your right hand back on the lap. Use the left hand without touching the head, a few inches above your head. See if you can feel something here. It may be cool, it may be hot. So now you can try with going up and down with your left hand or back and forth. Somewhere in the palm, you should feel a sensation. So many of you are feeling a hot sensation. So you may want to say, I forgive. I completely forgive. You just have to forgive, then you'll see it will cool down. Now put both the palms on your lap. Let's sit in meditation. This is meditation now. All the steps that we have done will take us into meditation. And now we'll keep our eyes closed and watch that we are not thinking. If thought comes, you say, I forgive before the thought begins. Then you wait for some time. If another thought comes, I forgive. I forgive this thought. I forgive. Not this thought, I'm meditating. I forgive. I forgive. Now on your palms and fingertips, what do you feel? You might feel cool sensation, warm sensation, some tingling sensation on your fingertips. Just enjoy it. Whatever it is, just meditate and enjoy. Do not question it, do not analyze it, just experience it. If you do not feel it, doesn't matter. You may want to try with your right hand again, press it on top of your head, rotate in a clockwise direction. Very sincerely say, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Try it one more time very sincerely. This time you have to be even more sincere if you didn't feel anything at all. You should be feeling very relaxed, light. Thoughts are reduced, anxiety is reduced. You are not thinking about the past. Take a deep breath, push it to your stomach, and wait for some time and release it. When you're breathing, your concentration, your attention should just be on your breathing. Bring your attention inside. You'll enjoy even more. Just take it easy. Now you can slowly open your eyes. And you can tell me how you feel. You can put it on the chat. So we'll also wait for some of the questions that we have.
Thank you so much, sir. It was quite a relaxing session. I request our participants to put down the questions if you have any, either in the chat box or you can ask sir directly.
I also put a feedback form here. Kavya, if you want, I can put it in the open chat also. If you have time, you can fill in the feedback, what you feel. And so, just to recap, you could meditate at home at mornings. That's usually the best time to meditate. Early mornings, 4 to 5 is recommended. But if you get up late, that's fine. And as soon as you get up with your maybe have a cup of tea and quickly go into meditation, and also 10-15 minutes in the evening. You can meditate on empty stomach, doesn't matter. You can eat non-vegetarian, doesn't matter. There is no diet for this. You meditate when you feel like. There's no number of time or how many hours, how many minutes. Unless you feel relaxed, you meditate. All the 9 steps you follow, we will send this PowerPoint to Kavya, and she will distribute it how to meditate at home, and you can follow those instructions also. And I will also quickly share my some of the information that you can take a look for you to follow up. There are some online resources to follow. Now, if you can feel the relaxation and very light, these are things that if you do it on a daily basis, it will bring a lot of miraculous change in your, not only in your health, but also in the abilities as a leader, as a participant, as someone who is doing a lot of research or developing, building something. You become extremely creative, right? You agree? So, sir, Subhopati sir also there. I think a few questions we will both take it.
Thank you, Shiva, for the great session. And I just wanted to add something that, if you remember, I told you that normally after every session, I keep a question answer session. But this time I wanted to keep it at the end of the session. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask it. But I just wanted to mention here that probably by the time I had ended my session, there were a lot of questions that probably were budding up in your minds. And after the meditation was over, you probably feel that there were a lot of answers already to these questions. So the entire point is, this meditation is an amazing thing. Normally with meditation, we associate a lot of conditions and rituals and a lot of things, that makes us stay away from meditation. We feel that, probably it's different from the life, because maybe we are teenagers, we're just budding youngsters, budding professionals. So meditation is probably for old people. It's nothing like that. Meditation is something, the word meditation probably, makes us kind of make us feel alien. But the fact is, meditation is basically inner bathing. Every day we take a bath, we use the soap or bathing gel, or we use a shampoo, we shave, we cut our hairs, we pull our hairs, we pull our nails. That's the external part. But meditation is the internal part. It's just as simple. So every day you take a bath, and this takes just 5 minutes of your time in the morning, 5 minutes before going to bed. That's it. Bathe yourself inside. Bathe your inner self. And see your qualities, blossoming. By every passing day, you will feel your qualities blossoming. Believe me, you will. So I'll just leave the session open now. If you have any questions, Shiva and me both are here. So,
sir,
yeah.
Thank you very much for this refreshing and very informative session. I have a question. Whenever, along with this COVID-19 situation, crisis period, we all are started with so many work, either in home front or in professional field. We are balancing various domains simultaneously. That time, whenever people are stuck in and we cannot make our priority list, and we become very busy with various kind of activities, that time we feel tired, we feel fatigued, we feel very demotivated. And even due to tension which is caused by this kind of ambience, that causes insomnia. How can we get rid of this situation, sir?
Okay. So basically what we are talking about is, we have three things. Number one is the external factor, which is the COVID-19 calamity, is this pandemic. And then, thanks to that, the kind of lifestyle that we have to lead inside a lockdown, taking care of all the responsibilities. And the third is the manifestation of these two things, which ends up with insomnia, mental depression, or mental tension. Now, when we look at all these three things together, the first let's take one thing at a time. Number one is COVID-19. Now, this is a pandemic. This is a fact. It's a truth. We cannot run away from it. So that is there. We don't have a vaccine. We know how to face it. We have been given certain rules. We are following those rules. Lockdown, social distancing, cleanliness, hygiene. We have been given certain points. We go by. Coming back to the next part is our schedule, our jobs, our duties, and things like that. Now, if you see as a human being, when we end up spending an entire day, primarily what happens is anxiety or stress happens when we feel that we seem to have lost control of what we are doing. And that is the time we feel that what we are doing is more than how much we can apply ourselves. So that, dissimilarity or that inequality that creates the stress. Now, first and foremost is real-time control and prioritization. We have a set of things to do. Now, this is something that is, I'm not talking about meditation. This is practical. Meditation is a practical solution. This is another practical solution, and we're going to merge it together. So first is real-time control and prioritization. Now, when we are doing a job, now say for example, the most tedious job, I must say that seriously, I mean, especially with women who are working from home, just because of their enormous amount of strength, the level of expectation is very high. As a person, I am probably will not be expected to do a lot of things because probably, people in the house probably know my level of strength, but probably not my wife because people know her level of strength. So a woman has a certain level of strength which results in people expecting a lot of things. Well, I will not go to the discussion as why it is not appreciated or things like that. I'm not going into that. I'm just stating what I understand about it. So what happens is this expectation, now this creates a lot of duties, responsibilities and jobs. It can be professional, can be personal, can be household oriented. So what we ideally need to do is we need to prioritize it. Prioritize in the sense, if there's an immediate demand, we need to understand that demand, do a real-time control and then prioritize, okay, I need to do this first. And then, it could be professional, it could be household, it could be this. So once we do this real-time control and prioritization, what happens is, we kind of have a very sorted schedule. It could be very, very, very busy, but it kind of gets sorted. Now, the second part of the practical solution is meditation. With meditation, what happens is, if you notice the second plexus, which is the Swadhisthana chakra as it's known in Sanskrit, it gives us the strength of attention, the strength of innovation. So that kind of, and the fifth plexus, which is the Vishuddhi, that gives us the strength of witnessing. So when we witness a situation without reacting to it, so it's something like an example which I was mentioning in my PowerPoint in a different perspective, but again, it's like, that mouse trying to reach the cheese and is trying to go through the puzzle and trying to reach the cheese. Now, if we are sitting on the mouse, we would end up hitting every dead wall in the puzzle. But if we move ourselves up and we are looking from the top, so we know the mouse, we know the cheese, we know the puzzle, we know exactly what is the right way. So that's witnessing. So meditation gives us this power to witness things, and then it gives us the power to innovate, which allows us to do a real-time control and prioritization. By the end of the day, it's amazing, but you will find it's practical, that everything is sorted, you have enough time for yourself, and at the same time, you are feeling so satisfied that you will not have a problem with sleep. Sleeplessness is because of dissatisfaction. You still feel that there's something that has not been done, but probably you did not meet up that expectation. Probably somebody might blame me for something. That anxiety might cause me to lose.
So if I can quickly add also, sir, in this, I will just share my experience also. Many of you know, I think I'm just seeing all the videos while you are talking, and a lot of them are very known to me. Well, thank you for everyone. I can't personally name, but all of them are very good friends from JS. But quickly, the answer is basically, how do you stay very active and without tired why do you get tired and all that. So basically what I do normally is I meditate in the morning, a solid meditation. So what happens is my energy centers that you saw in the picture gets filled with a lot of energy. So it's ready for the challenge of the day. So when you actually do your first morning meditation for half an hour to 40 minutes as you practice, initially 15-20 minutes is enough. So I meditate. Then whatever challenge comes in my way, I am in balance. So my mind is not reflective. So what happens? Why we get tired is our minds are very reflective. We see something, we react to it, we get depressed, we get anxiety because of the mind. So your mind actually now develops a new quality to witness the problem. It is not reactive. And again, during the morning meditation, you are resetting all that. You're resetting all the past worries. Now today you are going fresh minded. So you are not hating the same person like yesterday. You have the more compassion for him today. So to stay very energized, the number one thing that you could do is to stay meditate. First thing in the morning, meditate, and end of the day you unwind yourself with all the toxin that you absorbed, the stress you absorbed. Just meditate. And I also send Kavya a technique called food soaking, a video for you, how to unwind all the negative energy that disturbed you during the day with the salt water. I'll send that video to her. She will distribute to you. That will also help you tremendously. But the short answer is a lot of meditation in the morning and clearing meditation in the evening. That will really help you. Sir was saying that to prioritize your day, set expectation with your colleagues and your friends and your family, who does what, when. If you do that, and that also brings a lot of balance to your life.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
All right. Kavya, are we running out of time? Kavya, you're talking, but you're on mute.
So with us we have Dr. Sheila Singh Ghosh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Ma'am, if
Okay.
you
Hi,
can.
hi, Shiva. How are you?
Hello, madam. Very, very nice to have you. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
yes. Mr. Sanyal.
Dr. Ghosh, thank you.
Yes,
So nice
yes.
to see you. So nice to see you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't join at the beginning, but I was this and part of yours. Actually, I was having some other emergency call from this thing. Okay, so it was very nice to have all of you over here amongst our all colleagues. And I think Shiva, everything is okay there.
Yes,
Shiva?
ma'am. Everything is fine. We are.
I'm not
thank
able
you.
to see you. I'm not able to see you. In Chennai, everything is okay.
Yes, everything okay. I have some issue with my laptop. That's why my camera is
Okay.
sometimes issue.
No issue. We are actually, I am in an orange zone right now. Okay. This part of the country, state has been declared as the orange zone.
Okay.
So anyway, not very close by. Yeah, in our hospital there are some corona patients in JNM hospital very close to my house. Otherwise everything is okay. Working from home and all my colleagues every day. I think we are meeting with some after another webinar and other meeting. So this talk was very essential. Not only it's help us our colleague, but also will give some directions to keep them in future also well. So this is thank you very much for these things. And Kavya also, thank you Kavya to connect with Shiva and Mr. Sanyal. So yeah, please Kavya, carry on.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
well, thank you. I think what I want to tell you as a last note, everybody stay very strong and positive. The world is not coming to an end. So everybody is panicking, and tell your friends to stay very strong and secured. We will come out of this. Okay, it may take a couple of months, it may take 6 months, it does not matter. Enjoy this moment. No, enjoy the way you are changing. There is no better opportunity. You can sit at home, do a lot of things, and it is a beautiful thing to spend some time with your family. Enjoy the change. You enjoy what it is. We run business all over the world. Our colleagues, all our employees, all of us don't have to go to their villages and all that. So we managed to bring back everything. We are enjoying the way we are working now. So add meditation to your life. It will bring a lot of joy to you, a lot of confidence to you, and we will come out of this pandemic. Pandemic is nothing when the nature is so powerful. A human being is created by the nature. Now we are actually revamping ourselves. We are introspecting. We are changing a lot of unwanted things. We are not shopping unnecessarily. So it is a beautiful thing, and enjoy it, and the world will heal. We will heal, and Dr. Dave is showing up. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And also, please, Kavya, ma'am, please convey my respect and thank you to MD sir. And very grateful to have the relationship with you all. Thank you so much. I will now finish it. And sir, if you have anything, Sanyal sir.
No, that was all, Shiva. Thank you. Thank you everybody for giving us, me and Shiva, this opportunity. Thank you, Kavya, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Everyone have a good evening now. Take care.
Good evening. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. With this, I'm closing the meetings.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thanks,
Kavya.
Kavya.